So something else to talk about is how to use LinkedIn. So now that we've set up our basic profile, what can we do with it? So if you remember earlier, I talked about how it's kind of like be able to stay in touch with your old coworkers. So a connection request on LinkedIn is essentially a friend request on Facebook. So right here, I have Andrew. He is actually another student teacher for this course. He is my second connection, which means someone I know is connected with him. And so if you ever want to connect with someone, you can just go on their profile, click their link, and then you can press connect right here. So that number right here, you'll see that first is someone you've already connected with. Typically that's someone you kind of know. Second is someone you know is connected with them. So while you guys are close, you don't have that personal connection. And then third is just 1 degree farther. Someone you know is connected with someone who's connected to them. So what you'll notice here is if you click connect, you'll also see a connection request note possibility. So it'll ask you if you want to add a note. You press add the note, and it'll see that you have a message. You can put a message right here of 300 characters. So this is really important because it gives the person you're connecting with an opportunity to kind of see who you are and why you're interested in connecting. And you have to make sure that you keep it short and concise because you do only have 300 characters. So if it's someone you know, it's pretty easy. Just write, hey, their name. It was great meeting you at wherever you did. Looking forward to connecting with you on LinkedIn. So I know in my past internship, before I left, I made sure that I connected with my manager's manager, my manager, a couple coworkers, and I was like, hi coworker, I worked this summer at this company and I saw that you're there and I really look forward to connecting with you on LinkedIn. I hope we get to talk more as the summer comes to an end. And as for LinkedIn, if you've heard of cold emailing, then check out cold messaging. Cold messaging just means this is someone you don't know. You haven't had a chance to warm them up to your personality yet. So this message is going to be the first thing they know about you. So if you're writing to someone you don't know, something that's important is greet them by name. People love hearing their name. It also shows that you aren't sending the same cookie cutter response to everyone. And then you want to introduce yourself. You want them to know, like, who are you? And then also, why do you want to connect with them? So a pretty standard message is, hi, blank. I'm a student at blank interested in this field. So the reason I put down I'm a student is because honestly, being a college student is a superpower. When people hear that you're a college student, especially industry professionals, they know what it's like to be in your shoes and they want to help you out as well. So always try to lead with that. And then you can say, I saw on your profile that you blank. So this gives you an opportunity to show that you are actually looking at them specifically. You're not just Googling, say you want to work at a company like Microsoft. You're not just Googling all the Microsoft employees you know and going, hi, you work at Microsoft, please connect with me. You want to maybe find something a little more deep than that, maybe see what role they're working at, how long they've been there, and make it a little bit more personal. And the next part is what I've heard from industry professionals really matters. It's that I'd love to hear more about blank. So honestly, a lot of people are super excited to help. The only thing is sometimes they don't know what to help with. So when you give them a certain topic you want to learn more about or a certain path you want to go down, they can take that as an opportunity to jump off, and then once you have that conversation, you can ask more follow-up questions. Okay, so now we've gone over the basics. We've learned how to set up a basic profile and how to at least make a couple friends on LinkedIn. So next is how to develop your LinkedIn. So this is just a couple more things you can do to your profile to kind of help beef it up. So a custom URL, I definitely suggest this. A custom URL is just like a clean URL to put on your resume or even like say out loud. So if you notice, by default, your LinkedIn resume is going to be, or LinkedIn URL is going to be like your name and then a bunch of numbers. And honestly, if you're trying to say it out loud, it does not roll off the tongue to say 0375, etc., etc. So what you can do is you can go to, let me make sure, you can go to your profile, click edit public profile and URL, and then you'll see this in the top right corner. And then you can put in whatever you want for your personal URL. You can also change it whenever you want. So typically people choose something with their name. For example, my name is Mara Lee Hart. I keep a lot of my usernames Mara Lee Hart because I like the consistent look. And I also feel like it's unique enough that typically there aren't accounts with that name already. It's also the same as my GitHub. So if say for chance that was taken, I could do something like Mara Hart, Hart Mara, Mara H, etc. Honestly, whatever you want, you just want to keep in mind that you have to keep this professional. Okay. And then there's about. So this is your LinkedIn elevator pitch. If you don't know what an elevator pitch is, it's essentially you walk into an elevator with someone who might hire you. What do you say to get that job offer? So typically what I do is step one, introduce your background, like educational and professional. If you've had any jobs or you're a college student, mention that. State something unique about yourself. Why should someone connect with you? State something more personal. Kind of humanize yourself. Again, this is the same reason you put a profile picture. Kind of helps the user realize that you aren't just someone on the internet, you are an actual person. And then you can also, in the featured item, you can see that you can add media. So I have my resume on there. I have my blog. I have a couple blog posts that I really enjoy, as well as my GitHub. With that being said, your supporting media can be anything you want. I think I have a student newspaper clip, any like personal websites, things like that. So if you look at your about, you look at the needs improvement, you can say, I'm a student at the University of Virginia. Okay, you are, but what else does that mean? Like, why does the reader care? Why does the recruiter care? Honestly, if all you have to say about yourself is you're a student, you definitely need to get more involved. So then that's where I put the good. So I put down, I'm a third year CS major at the University of Virginia. So I just introduced my educational background. Interested in the intersection of education and CS. So I guess this is more like unique. So this shows recruiters like exactly what I'm interested. And so that way, if they have any questions about me teaching CS or joining the teaching program or things like that, they know that I'm interested in CS. And then as for something personal, I said, in my free time, I enjoy front-end web development and built my first website last summer. So I kept this more related to CS, but also did it as more of like a fun fact. And then the only thing I'd say to make it great is just add additional links to blog posts or personal projects. If you have a dev post from a hackathon, you have a project you want to share that project. But otherwise, you can keep this as, you want to keep it mainly to what's important, and you can always change the order of things that are listed. So you can put the really important things up at the top. Okay. So the next thing is skills. So skills is honestly the same thing as the skills you'd put on your resume. So if you have familiar technologies, programming languages, soft skills, things like that, this is where you can put them. You can also put a skill quiz, take a skill quiz, which you'll see on this button right here, to receive a LinkedIn assessment badge. I personally haven't really seen anyone too wowed by it, but it's still kind of like a fun little thing to try out and see whether or not you'll get the badge. So for me, I've put down Python, teaching, and web development. You'll see here that it says someone in 6 connections has given endorsements for this skill. So a cool thing about LinkedIn is it's part of those connections, part of that social networking aspect. It's that different connections can come to your profile and endorse you for certain skills. So 7 people are vouching for me and saying that I know Python. The great thing about this is if you see someone who's really great at something and you want to recognize that, an easy way is just to endorse their skill, and then they can do it right back. That being said, you can put more than 3 skills on your profile. However, you can only pin 3 to the top. If you click show more, it'll show you your entire list. Okay, I know that was a lot of information, but I will be putting different timestamps down below if you want to click between each section. And then for your assignment this week, what we want you to do is to set up your LinkedIn profile. So this means that you need your name, profile picture, headline, your education, your experience. And then after that, you'll submit your LinkedIn profile here. We'll also be posting the slides online for you to access. I'll drop the link in the description as well. And it'll also be on our course website. And then on that list, you'll see that the teaching staff has put their own LinkedIn profiles there. And we're also gonna have all your classmates put their LinkedIn profiles on there. So make sure that you connect with all of the teaching staff and then connect with at least 2 classmates. And then for the 5th step, after you've connected, you're gonna choose one of the 3 developments. So you're either going to create a custom link, write an about, or list your skills. So honestly, this is pretty simple right now. Towards the end of the semester, we'll have you revisit your LinkedIn again and really make sure that you showcase all your different skills and hopefully a few skills that you've learned from the class. Overall, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us through course website, and then also feel free to reach out with me on LinkedIn, and I look forward to connecting with you all. I hope you enjoy your first week. Okay, bye.